This is the advanced guide to creating killer YouTube scripts to blow up your channel. Because what's the secret? How do these channels systematically craft scripts designed to go viral almost every single time? I mean, look at these scripts. These scripts are engineered with psychology and tactics to create the most engaging videos. I mean, come on, this just sounds like poetry.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
But it can't be the scripts, it's gotta be something else, right? It's probably just the gear they're using, or maybe they have a huge following on TikTok, or they know something we don't, and they wanna keep that knowledge a secret. Well, there is a secret, but the secret to success isn't what you think.
The secret lies with Charlotte.
And without this, YouTube itself completely falls apart. Good news is, it's actually quite simple. Here's the story. So it turns out a script can be either average, great, or killer. And it's not a normal distribution. Most scripts are average. That's why the vast majority of us are stuck under 1,000 subs, while a select few break 1 million. The quality of scripts is vastly different, and that's why the channel results are vastly different. And this video will show you how to write all 3 types. And yeah, mainly the killer one, but you have to write an average script before you write a killer script. And whether you write scripts before you film, or you craft your story in the edit, this video's for you. And speaking of you, if you're new to the channel, welcome, because you're home, and to be honest, we need you. Subscribers to this channel are men and women, well, for some reason, mostly men. Why are there so many dudes on this channel?
She's out there.
Subscribers to this channel are men and women who love creating videos and genuinely want to make themselves, their families, their communities, their nations a better place. And after being nearly 1.5 years of being gone from YouTube, of course, the night before I filmed, my girlfriend's dog slashed my face. But I've seriously missed you all so much, and I'm so excited to finally be back on YouTube. The secret to YouTube scripts, and frankly all scripts in general, is that they're a function of 2 things: build and tension. And this one formula should guide every second of your scriptwriting process, and it's what holds all of YouTube together. What's the one point you're building towards, and how do you create tension along the way? And this is a function, like however good your build and tension are, your video will do average, great, or completely blow up your channel. It really only takes one video. So where do we start?
It's a riddle.
Bobby Fischer, the legendary chess champion, said tactics flow from a superior position. So while you want to hurry up and start writing your whole script, that's not where we start. This killer script you see here flowed from a killer outline first, like an overall arc for the whole story. And at its simplest form, that arc is just 3 things. The story is introduced, builds to a climactic peak, and then resolves. So to get started, don't start writing a script. Start writing an outline. And to help me write my outlines and my scripts for my videos, I made this app called StudioForge. Google Docs and all that works, but I just needed a dedicated platform to help me make my YouTube videos, so that's why I made this app, link below in the description. Look, when you start watching any other video, you'll start noticing what's the intro, what's the climax, what's the resolution. This is pretty simple stuff, but almost every YouTuber skips this. This is the whole foundation. And without these 3 things, you're gonna struggle writing a killer script.
Good news is, it's actually quite simple.
This is Cole Zeziger. Cole makes videos helping people get through their breakup. He makes really authentic content that's designed not just to help them get their ex back, but on how to move forward and be a better person and live their life more.
And now, just like pretty much every TikToker, he's trying to figure out how to get onto YouTube.
It's pretty frustrating.
What kind of ideas do you have so far?
So I want to make a video on 6 reasons people leave the ones they love, to just give people more understanding about what happened in the relationship.
So let's go ahead and create a video from there.
When you have your video ideas laid out in a manner like this, it becomes really easy to just pick one of your ideas and start making a video from it.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Okay, playing video. Do you have a thumbnail yet?
Nope.
Or a title?
Nope.
Have you watched any of my videos? Before we ever start with the script, we gotta come up with our outline. Let's go into outline mode.
This is freaking cool.
This is what the average YouTube script looks like. There's a weak intro like, welcome to the channel. There's hardly any emotional build or climax, and the resolution is basically a like and subscribe.
So this is basically like the average YouTube video, right?
This is about how far I would usually go, and then I would just set the camera and talk.
And that works, right? That'll get you average results, but we're here for killer results.
I was waiting for that word, killer.
So now the question is, how do we turn this average script into a great script? A better intro, a better climax, and a better conclusion. What's the one point you're building towards?
I have 2 main ideas. So one major point is just giving people some education, explanation on what probably happened. These are the 6 most common that I've seen. The next point is to explain to people and validate people that did leave for these reasons that it's okay. that they're not the bad guy for choosing to leave a situation that wasn't the best for them. Is it okay to have two?
We may have more clarity on what's the one climax we're building towards if we do a better job on our intro. Once we know what the hook is, then we know the answer that it's going to be.
I could tell a personal story just about like how I was so confused, and I would go through thousands of different possible scenarios in my head of why I got left, what I might have done wrong.
The hook is, I'm so hurting and confused. The climax is the answer as to why they left the
Conclusion
relationship.
is what do you do once you have it?
And the conclusion, the resolution, is going to be, now that I see this light, here's how my story can resolve and I can move forward. We've got two climaxes, and I think that could be a problem. How can we sum up these two climaxes into one killer point that we're trying to build towards?
Closure is, I think, the biggest one. It's like climax max.
I don't know how I feel about that. How do you cut that down into something shorter? Is it closure? Is it alleviating confusion?
Yeah, I think the main thing is understanding, like closure through understanding.
Closure through understanding.
You can see that Cole's getting more and more clarity as he simplifies what's his intro, what's his climax, and what's his resolution.
This is a killer outline. So
Okay, cool.
How do you feel about it?
I freaking love it.
So don't write your script until you've written your outline. What's your intro hook? What's your climactic build? And how do you resolve the story? And ladies and gentlemen, when you've done the work like this on your outline, the script just flows naturally.
Do you feel like any of the tension is going to be lost in the reasons? Maybe if it gets lost in the reasons, it could kind of die down and then the climax wouldn't be as powerful?
But I think that leads perfectly into the next section of the video.
Okay, cool.
So go ahead and click script mode.
Sweet.
Okay, and so now for each of those sections each of those outline sections we made, now we can write the script lines for them.
That's cool.
So now that we know what we're building towards, how do we create tension along the way? Listen, what's the only reason that you'll stop watching a YouTube video? Only if it's boring. So pacing keeps that viewer engaged. And so what's the number one easiest way that every YouTuber can start improving their pacing? Start cutting. Cut all those unnecessary lines. You gotta be ruthless. Like every single second of your script should build your intro to the climax. And if it doesn't contribute, cut it out. Every story is collapsible to some degree. If you're not taking out 10%, you're not trying very hard. Why take 20 minutes to say something when you can say it in 5? Anytime I build anticipation for what's to come next, or should I say open a loop, I create tension in my video because the viewer just like has to close that loop. And this constant opening and closing of loops is just the essence of captivating writing. What makes surfing thrilling is carving up and down the face of the wave. So rather than writing your viewer's emotions flatline, try to peek up and down the full spectrum of emotion. Make them scared, make them laugh, make them angry, relieved, happy, sad, crushed, nervous, joyful.
How can we make this like an emotional intro?
I want to talk about sleepless nights and not knowing what happened. I remember pacing the floor and pulling my hair out, trying to figure out what went wrong. I could say like, this really mattered to me.
If we say this really mattered to me, that doesn't really open up that much of a loop.
By the end of this video, finally provide you with the closure
you seek.
This sounds really cool. This is
like
so much better than just going into the reasons after saying hello.
This is a script that has build.
It's awesome.
This has build, and if you keep this up, this will have fantastic tension too.
Awesome.
You open loops. You start with an intro. The whole point of your video is building to the one killer point: how to get closure through understanding.
What a gift a good writer is to be able to accentuate and help us savor all the positive and negative emotions that God wants us to feel in this life. But all these tactics, be it pacing, tension, loop opening, cutting, and editing, flow naturally because we had a good outline, a structure for our writing to flourish. If you want a killer script to blow up your channel, what's the one killer point you're building towards? And how are you creating killer tension along the way? Anyone can learn this, and that's what's so cool. Like, it's not just some special trait that you have or you don't. No one's naturally born good at this. And that's what makes this so fun, is you just keep practicing and improving and seeing your skills get better. There's one critical part of this function that I left out.
It's invisible.
And if there ever was a secret, this is it. What are the YouTube videos we really enjoy? It's the ones where the creator fell in love making it. What life can you bring to your script? What gift is given to you so that you can enjoy it yourself and share it with your family, your community, and your country? I can't tell you how many times I'll write a draft for one of my scripts and I'll struggle with it. It'll be overly complex and I just not having a good time making it. And then I'll go to sleep and then I'll wake up the next morning and suddenly it hits me that I wasn't having fun with it. So yeah, from a marketing perspective, I try to pick video topics that you'll click on and that you'll watch. But it's really hard for me to make a video that I'm not in love with. Hundreds of you have been asking where I'm at, why I'm squandering my YouTube potential. And that's true. I definitely should have been making videos the last year. But I feel really different since the last time I made a video. I feel like I've died and been reborn. I used to be so obsessed with productivity and accomplishing goals and all these skills that I could learn to improve myself. And now, rather than trying to escape from life, I'm learning that I can escape into life. I see all of the good that life has to offer and I can't get enough of life now. Something or someone is redeeming me and I feel like I get to savor all the pain and joy life has to offer. Rich pain and rich joy. And believe it or not, this isn't entirely off track because your script should help people feel pain and joy and everything in between. So sorry I've been gone so long, but just know that I've missed you. And yeah, let's get back to killer YouTube scripts.